Hello, my name is Bailey and this is my virtual pet collection. It's going to be too much for one video, so I'll be making a series to cover what I have here and then add more videos whenever I get more pets in. I thought I'd start with something that really started this craze in the late 90s because it really was a craze. The up here is actually the first wave. It's called the P1. It comes with a purple top. And this one was probably my favorite one of the P1s. It's the purple with the magenta border. I had a couple of them, but this one was definitely my favorite. Then I have this one. I acquired this one a couple years ago, but it actually confused me because I couldn't find this one on any records. And then I saw this on the bottom, which is actually different from this one. And what I think this one's from the Oceania region. So when I saw this one, I was confused because I actually haven't seen this one anywhere. I think I've seen one with green, but not yellow. So I think this is Oceania. That's pretty neat. And then I have two of the second wave, which would be the P2s. You can tell it's a P2 because it looks like the same. Walmart. The blue on top instead. This is the clear one. I really love this one. I love things that are clear, and this one just hits it right. Hits it right. Then I've got this one. Doesn't have a box. It's got the Tamagotchi little guys on the top. I think that's really neat. So if you wanted to be able to tell the difference besides the boxes, which would be the purple and the blue, you can actually look at the Tamagotchi themselves. You can see that this has the wave background. If you can see it, yep, wave background. Versus this one, which has the checkerboard background. You can barely see it, but it's a checkerboard. Then I've got the Angel. Like I said, it was one of my personal favorites as a kid. I had to rebuy it. That's why it's got the ugly writing on it. See, so it's got a pearly finish with the wings on the sides. And the difference being is that it comes with the touchscreen. When they say touchscreen, they actually just mean that if you tap it, the bat will go away. Because there's a bat that attacks you occasionally. So you just use that as a protective measure. This was one of my favorites, even if I did kill it a lot as a kid, but I mean, really. And then I have the pride of my American collection here. It'd be the Tamagotchi Ocean. The Oceans in general were hard to come by because it's so close to the end of the hype. No one really cared by then. The fad was already on its way out. And so when this came out, it came to pretty much deaf ears. Nobody really cared anymore. But I managed to get my hands on one. They are kind of hard to get a hold of these days. But so if you really want to experience it without paying the money for it, I would suggest getting the Umino, which is actually the Japanese version of this. It's much cheaper and it's the exact same programming. And the last one to end my English version collection would be this one right here. This one is actually the part of the Special Asian Design series. I don't really know if there is a story behind this one, if there is one at all, but Asia and Oceania got their own versions. This one would be New Zealand. The little kiwis, look at how cute. I would also love to get either China's pandas or Philippines cows. Those are really cute. These span both over the P1s and the P2s, and this one is the P2. And that's it for the English stuff. So I'd like to mention that all of these were released in the span of only 2 years. So I'll start with the P1s since they are pretty much the Japanese equivalent of the English ones. They are the same version except for the secret character is different, so you get the character of Voyagichi instead of Bill. So that's one. I have another one. Same deal. Almost the same design. This one's clear. And then we've got the P2s. And the P2s get a little bit complicated as there are a Series 1 and a Series 2 of them. I'll start with the Series 1. You can't really tell at first glance whether or not one is a Series 1 or Series 2 unless you recognize the shell design. If you boot it up though, there will be two different eggs. The first one is black and the second one is black with white rings. So the Series 1 and Series 2. So I've got this one. The Series 1 has Puchichi. It's actually very similar to the American P2, and that has Puchichi as a regular character, but the Japanese has Sekretorichi instead of Zachi as the secret character. And then this one is the P2. P2 Series 2. Yep, see, this one is known to being the P2, and if you start it up, it has the black egg with white rings. This one has the Nyachi instead of Puchichi, which is the dog, so it has a cat instead of the dog, and it has Chirichi instead of Secretorichi. So even the P2s in Japan are different. And we have the Angel Gotch here. It's the same thing as the Tamagotchi Angel. The difference being the birthing and the dying scenes, or these good ending scenes. And then there's the secret character, which is also different. They have something called, it's Sabo Tenshi instead of Kitsu Tenshi. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Then we have Mothra here. It's the first of the movie promo items. This came out for Rebirth of Mothra 2. This is the most common of the 3 shells. There are 3 shells. And Godzilla is a cameo secret character, which is pretty neat. Then next is Genjichi, which came out for the movie of Peking Man. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I think it's Peking Man. And naturally, you raise a caveman. I haven't run this one yet, but it looks really fun. The movie ones look really fun. And then next comes the Osuchi and the Mesuchi pair. These are important in Tamagotchi history as they introduce both generations, gender, and connection ports. So the idea is that you could connect these together and get up to about 4 generations of Tamagotchi, and that was really cool. I have not run these yet, but I intend to. I kind of ran it one time, and they died. Sad. Next on the line is the Morino. This was supposed to get a US release, but it did not. It did not make it that far, just because of interest was dead by that point. You raise a bug, and this one's kind of tricky to raise because of the cocoon stage. It's kind of hard to tell what you're going to get. I like the shell. It looks like a tree bark. Then we have the Umino version of the Tamagotchi Ocean. It's exactly the same. This comes in different shells. Yeah, if you ever wanted to run an Ocean, get an Umino instead. Just because it's much cheaper, same exact thing, just in Japanese, which is only a few of the options. This is notoriously hard to raise because they die so quickly. There's a lot of they carried over the touch thing that they introduced with the Angel, so you had to tap in order to get the Predator to go away. And I should mention that actually, this one has the same thing. They all have the touch feature because they all have Predators. This one is just an extremely active Predator. Extremely active. After that comes the Tamagotchi, which is another collab Tamagotchi. It's a collaboration between Bandai and the female comedian Tamao. This one is not my favorite. It is extremely annoying to raise, extremely difficult. It's very needy. And like most other people who run this, I can't seem to avoid getting Tamagotchi. And she's a smoker, and I don't know how to not get her. It's not fun for me because it's also really hard. She also has the tapping sensor because you need in order to praise her, and a lot of times it's hard for her to get it, to understand your taps. Very difficult, very annoying. These next 3 are actually some of my pride and joys of my entire collection. I'll start with the Christmas version, the Santagotchi, the Santa Clauchi. And mine does have a bit of sun damage on it, but it is still my favorite. It's less of a raising him and more of a helping him. You have to prepare him for Christmas, so you have to get all of the things that he needs, and he goes through a lot of changes. It's really funny because you have to get him all these new clothes, so you usually won't get what you need the first time around. You usually get something silly like a snowboard, so he'll become snowboarding Santa, or you'll get him a Sailor Fuku, so he'll become schoolgirl. Schoolgirl Santa. It's really funny. I really enjoy this one. It's good for a laugh. Then I have the Devil Gotchi. This is kind of like the antithesis to the Angel Gotchi, in which you raise the devil. I actually haven't done this one, although this one is supposed to be really funny. It has a lot of it's mischievous, I guess is the right word for it. It'll wake up at weird hours and make sure to make lots of noise and stuff like that. It's really cute. I haven't run it yet because I'm kind of nervous too, but I really want to. Let's leave it there. And then the last one I have is the, if you can guess, it's the Yasashi Tamagotchi. This one is very large. I'm sure if you could tell, it is very large. This is meant to be the easy Tamagotchi. So the point is that since it's so large, you can actually just bring out the kickstand and just leave it on a table and then care for it when it needs attention. And you know it needs attention when it beeps at you and also lights up one of its icons. And it's as easy as just hitting the icon and and then what needs to be done will be done. It's really neat. I really like this one. It's one of my other ones that I have not run yet. And it's got really big pixels, it's got really nice big sprites, and I really love the shell. It does not have the packaging, but that's okay, it does not bother me so much. It also has a volume control, which is really awesome. And something that's new for the Tamagotchi for the time. And then last but not least, I have the Tamagotchi. This one surprised me by coming in box because it was not advertised to have the box. And it's just a pedometer pet. You attach it to your belt, and you walk around with Tamagotchi. And she's the main character. She's the titular character, and your goal is to walk around and meet all these gotchi boys. See, you've even got Zachi. That's really awesome. I actually think that these are all of the Tamagotchis from the previous generations, which is really awesome. See, there's Tamagotchi. And so she meets all the gotchi boys, and as you continue walking, I think that's her rival. And it's really cute. I haven't run it, and one of the other ones I have not run yet. But it's a really interesting idea, and one of the things you can do is look at all the presents that she gets, because as she meets gotchi boys, she gets presents. How exciting. No suitors. Okay. And that's all that I have for the vintage Tamagotchi collections. The next video I'll be covering the modern stuff, the stuff that started in 2004. Thanks for sticking around. Bye!